Loyalty is a huge thing, isn't it? If you can find a friend that's loyal to you, that is a friend worth keeping. So, what does loyalty look like? All this week, we're going to be examining David's life from the Old Testament and seeing examples of what loyalty looks like. I'm not going to be reading any verses to you because we're going to be taking chapters at a time. I would encourage you to read the what we're talking about. I'll always link it down below so that you can read the original. Today we're talking about 1 Samuel chapter 20. David had a friend that was incredibly loyal. His name was Jonathan. Jonathan was the prince, but God had chosen David to be the next king. Well, the current king was not very happy with David. He thought David was going to trick the kingdom or try to lead a rebellion. And we'll see in future days that David was not interested in that. He was actually loyal to the king, King Saul. But David asked his friend, the prince Jonathan, "Why is your dad trying to kill me?" And Jonathan says, "Hold on, let me check this out." Well, in a couple of days, there was a special meal that David was supposed to be at, and he wasn't there. Well, the king, who was also at that meal, goes, I guess something happened to David. It's fine. But on day 2, there was another meal, and David still wasn't there. So King Saul says, "Well, where's David?" And Jonathan says, "Well, he asked permission to go be with his family, so I gave him permission." And now Saul immediately turns angry and says, "What? Don't you know that David's trying to take the kingdom from me? He's probably leading a rebellion right now. What are you doing?" And Jonathan stands up for his friend. Jonathan says, "No, David is loyal to you." And Saul tried to kill Jonathan for standing up for David. And I love this. The next verse says, "And then Jonathan knew that Saul was angry." Really? You think? But here we see an amazing example of what loyalty looks like. Loyalty means that you stand up for the people around you. But I have to admit, I've not always been loyal. Sometimes the only person I've been loyal to is myself instead of my friends. I've not always defended them, especially if I am risking myself to do it. But you know what Jesus does for you? He stands up and he speaks well of you. He defends you all the time. Every time you sin, Jesus says, "Yes, I died for that sin too." You have a loyal friend. His name is Jesus.